So Kevin Love is playing the best that he's played in a while, and it's off of two of my favorite things: three-pointers and free throw attempts. His shooting has been outrageous. He's having the best three-point shooting season of his career, at 43% on 6.5 a game. Here's a stat you didn't expect. Kevin Love is in the 85th percentile of transition players this season, and I think it's a lot of plays like this. Specifically behind the break threes, where the opposing team has to collapse the paint, and Kevin Love takes advantage. As for the half court, well, of course you have your classic pick and pops. But I also feel like Love just has this sixth sense with relocating off the ball now. It's easy to say just go to the spot where there's no defender, but this doesn't click with every player. Cleveland's also been running pin downs for him. I mean, look at him coming around this screen. He's looking like 25-year-old Kevin Love, not, how old is he now, 33? Now let's talk about those free throw attempts. He's averaging about 5 free throws per game in his last 7 or so. And I would say this is a combo of him being a vet who knows how to draw some random fouls on the perimeter, as well as him just being a little more assertive and taking more opportunities at the rim when they're there. Given that Love is a multi-time All-Star, I don't know if he's allowed to win Most Improved Player. I also don't know if he'd be the winner anyway. But it's kind of fun to think about. I can't forget about his passing. The 2 assists per game doesn't pop out at you, but he busts out some nice ones. This play to me sums up a lot of what Kevin Love's been doing on offense. So Rubio's on the drive. Thanasis stops him. Kevin Love relocates, which requires Semi Ojeleye to come over. He could have went with the 3, decided not to do it. But then you get a great pass off to Lauri Markkanen and some high-low action with your 2 big guys. The Cavs have like 30 bigs and it's working. Speaking of passes, the Raptors make a whole bunch on this possession. It eventually leads to a Van Vliet 3. Scotty Barnes post up to Van Vliet. Fred is making a case for the All-Star game, as he's been on a crazy tear lately. I feel like the Raptors could pull off a run at some point here. They've won 3 in a row, so maybe this is the beginning of it right now. They had 13 steals, and they also made the Spurs commit 20 turnovers in this game. For the season, their defensive numbers are not great, but I could picture them going up. And it's mainly because this team is huge. I mean, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Chris Boucher, Achua. Like, Nick Nurse will just put 5 big dudes out there who can all move, and he'll just see what happens. Basically, Siakam's on the switch on Derek White. Anunoby is playing Eubanks on the drive. Somebody's totally ignoring Devin Vassell. That's like the key to this whole thing happening, to load up inside a little bit. Anyway, Anunoby's reaching. The potential to get it to Vassell was there. Derek White didn't see him. Gets it to Eubanks, and then Gary Trent just steals it because he was lingering as well. I just feel like with the bodies and with Nick Nurse's defensive brain, hopefully they just don't get beat up by health and safety, they'll be alright. Grizzlies Cavs was very exciting. You know what I liked about this play? Besides, the Ja Morant floater. I was a fan of Steven Adams on the fake screen thing. Until the last second, it looks like he's setting the screen on the defender's right-hand side, Ja's left. And then he just goes the other way. What are the chances we get a Grizzlies-Cavs NBA Finals within the next, 7 years? I'll tell you this much. The chances are higher than 0%, which is insane. Zion is continuing his right foot rehab in Portland. I think that he was away from the team, right? I feel like it's a decent chance Zion just doesn't play this year. It is possible to go beyond this stuff. I mean, Joel Embiid had all that foot stuff his first 2 years, and since then, sure, he's had injuries in his lower body, but we know Embiid's been there. Sources say the Hawks are on the lookout for a 1-for-2 type of deal for an impact guy. Gallo and Cam Reddish, most likely candidates. As far as that move, I don't know. But in terms of Atlanta, they've been so beat up with health and safety recently, I feel like I can't really say much about them. Sure, you can look at it and say, well, they're great on offense, they're bad on defense. Trae Young pick and rolls, hoorah. Expansion teams in Seattle, Vegas, ownership groups, okay. Well, Seattle will be hyped, and obviously they'll have the market. Vegas, here's the thing, if you live in Vegas or Nevada, wouldn't you already be like a Laker fan or Warriors fan? This is the greatest play ever by Emmanuel Quickley. This is what people who hate threes see every time a three-pointer doesn't go in. In Lakers news, Malik Monk has been going nuts from outside, and they definitely need some reliable shooting. There's been a lot of talk about a trade for the Lakers. I doubt teams really want Westbrook given his contract. Granted, we've been saying that for a while, and he's still managed to be traded a few times. You've also got the fact that they don't have a lot of picks to move unless you want to go way out into the future. So we'll see with those, and after that, I mean, the main trade dudes are THT and Kendrick Nunn. Like, it's not a lot. So we'll see. I know that they're probably going to sign Stanley Johnson to another 10-day.